Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm up at our garden in the hoop house, and it's about 48-49 degrees today, and it's raining. We've just been getting constant rain and cold weather. For June, this is not typical weather. We should be in the 60s, 70s, but the hoop house has really been paying off this year. And if you live in the Pacific Northwest and you don't have a hoop house in your gardening, you might want to get one going, because I think we're in for more of this crazy weather coming up. We've got all kinds of stuff in here right now. We've got some pickling cucumbers. We got our tomatoes. Jen has a bunch of dahlias that she just planted. We've got some basil, a bunch of squash to get in, Newburgh onions, more Newburgh onions over here in a different stage of life. Just all kinds of stuff going on in here. Now, we've got a bunch of potatoes in pots out here. I got all these pots for free, probably about 70 of them. Gave some away, and we've just been planting like crazy in them. So we've got 15 pots of potatoes. The slugs were really going after this stuff. They were hitting our kale in these bins with onions, and they were really wiping those out. So we've been doing beer traps, and those were working great until I ran out of cheap, crappy beer. Now we are using what's left of the beer in beer traps, and we're using this Sluggo, which is pet and wildlife safe, and this stuff seems to be working pretty well. We haven't seen as many slugs. Now, the other problem we just found was one of our cabbage has been munched on, and it wasn't a slug and it wasn't a worm. I'll go out there and show you. And we've got all kinds of stuff out here too. We got kale, cabbage, broccoli, what else? Cauliflower. Yeah, all kinds of stuff out here. We just harvested some broccoli. Wasn't very big heads, but it'll keep producing. We just got some from there and one from down there. Our beans are really suffering. They just aren't growing this year. I think it's just too dang wet. Okay, so we were up here this weekend and we noticed that cabbage right there has been chewed on. There's pieces of it down here and little chunks of it over here. So that looks more like some kind of critter and not a slug or a worm. So what I did today is I came up here and I put some chicken wire cones on all the cabbage pots. I don't know how well that's showing up on the camera, but got some there. And then we've got 3 back here, and these are golden cross cabbage. We actually bought these, but they're 40-day cabbage, so they're great for our situation because our growing period is not very long. And we did some of these last year. They're great. They grow fast. They're not super huge, but that's why we're growing a few more of them. And next year I hope to grow like a lot more. But anyway, I put on these cages and then started thinking about it. And if it's a mouse or something, he's going right through that hole. So we have a bunch of this cloth to keep bugs out, to keep moths out and everything, and we just took it off the beds not too long ago. So I'm going to cut up this piece because it's got holes in it. I'm going to cut it up and wrap it around each cage, and hopefully that will keep a squirrel out, or a rat or a mouse or whatever it is. It only hit that one cabbage, which is odd. Now this year we've got strawberries on a tower, a couple towers that we put together, and I'm hoping that will keep slugs from getting up here, because they usually get just devoured by slugs. We'll see how that goes. A lot of them getting ready to go there. Okay, well that's not very pretty, but I think it works better if I don't cut that one piece in half, because then I got a nice big old piece to wrap around there. All right, so there they are. Now, obviously, if a critter wants to get in here, they're gonna get in here. But I'm hoping it deters them from wanting to get in. Like I said, it only went for that one. Maybe it didn't really acquire a taste for cabbage because it didn't keep going after them. And nothing got after them last night. So hopefully this does the trick. If anybody out there has had a problem with rodents or squirrels or anything eating your cabbage, let me know in the comments what worked for you or what didn't work for you. It'd be interesting to see if anybody else has had this issue. Most of the time it's only slugs and worms, you know, cabbage worms and stuff up here. This is the first where something has actually gone in and munched on it. Now, one last thing I'll show you. If you saw our video on the fig tree that came back to life after being broken in half for a month, the thing is doing great. I'm hoping these figs don't fall off. This thing is busting out with figs, even though it took some serious damage. So we'll see how that goes. That's about it for this one. I'm getting wet, and yeah, just thought I'd throw this out there and show you what we're doing, and hopefully someone will comment and let us know what worked for them. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.